Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Speedgaming Live 2023 Ocarina of Time Randomizer match. We are finally in the semifinals. I am Melqui, and on comms with me today is Benji. How we doing, Benji?
Honestly, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a cracking race between two of the best runners going. I think there's not much debate about that. In Gav, we've got the #1 seed for the tournament, and what the hells, I think, has kind of forgotten more about Zuta than I've learned. Not that that's necessarily hard. So two kind of real elite rando players we've got today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun watching both of them play over the last couple of years that I've been watching, but especially in this tournament. What do we got? We are starting with our light medallion, as is tradition in this year's SGL settings, and one of our spiritual stones, which is really nice because that is one of our win conditions.
So it's the three spiritual stones get you the open the bridge, and then Ganon's boss key is on the light arrow cutscene, which is the spirit and shadow medallions. So you only need to complete at most, I'd guess, no, you need to complete 5 dungeons to get all the way up to Ganon and eventually kill the pig. But one of those is already done for us. So if things break your way, you might only need to be dipping into 4 dungeons. But of course, rando is rando, so you never know how much you might end up having to do.
Yeah, the items have to go somewhere. Let's see. What else? Our songs. We have Prelude Start Force. That means one of our song checks is going to be an item, and in this case, it is not the free song. We are also starting with Nocturne.
A Nocturne start is lovely. It means that you don't have to worry about, are we going to have to complete extra dungeons, say the dungeons to get you the Burning Kakariko check, Forest, the Fire and Water medallions, in order to just get into Shadow, if that's a dungeon that you need to do. It's also nice for movement, both as adult and as child, and there's a nice hint stone there as well, which also doesn't hurt.
Yep. Alright, we are seeing Gav walk out of Temple of Time. We have 4 foolish hints fixed at these hint stones here. Fortress, Market, Valley, and OGC. Not a bad list, actually.
I love having the market hint there, because there's a couple of checks that can be super annoying to pick up. Thinking about the treasure chest game, big pose potentially, or it's easy just to not get time of day and forget about Richard the dog, or maybe Bombchu. It's easy enough to miss one of those out. So of those foolish hints, that's, I think, probably the most appetizing among them, although Foolish Fortress as well, not having to do horseback archery, again, nice to know, even though for either of these runners, the 1500 would not have been a problem.
Yeah, in that case, I think it's more about access to Epona. Where is your horse? That's kind of the big question mark when it comes to Fortress. And we are seeing Gav go Adult River. This is a pretty popular opener. Set it to nighttime, so he should have time of day to get Anju when he does go through Adult Cac. Meanwhile, Hells opted to skip those hint stones at Temple of Time. We did see one of our path hints, Lake Hylia to Baronade. And so far, nothing else in the graveyard.
So the way the path hints are... the way they work for the SGL settings is that stone dungeons are always hinted first before the medallion dungeons. So that means that there's a good chance that Jabu is going to be a stone, although the fact that it's hinted means that whether it's a stone or whether it's one of those 2 medallions we need, we're still going to need to be going into the big fish.
Big fish.
And Dampe, was nothing at all, unfortunately. Oh, Skull Mask is BGA. Okay, that's, for a moment I thought that was Kokiri Sword and was kind of getting a little bit concerned, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to be picked up. Yes, you can have the jokes about it's a nice time save, but when you have to invest all the time in order to go and pick it up in the first case, kind of not so much.
And all right, there's a boomerang there, so we're expecting letter or something locking letter in Lake now.
100%. I also would not. Oh, blimey! It would not surprise me if we see a Kakariko to Baronate hint, as there was also IGC on the path to Goma. So Kokiri Sword inside the castle then. So that gives you presumably the either Shadow or Spirit Medallion is going to be the Deku Tree.
Yep.
I must say, I was a little bit surprised that What the Hells didn't check the hint first, the Foolish hints at the Temple of Time first, because I know that you get the Warp Song straight off the bat, but I think I'd just want to check them in case. Who knows? You might. It's probably quite unlikely, but you might get a Graveyard Foolish, as there's our Stone and Medallion layout.
Yeah, I would say Graveyard Foolish is a little more likely when one of our song checks is an item. But
that's true.
But for the most part, yeah, it is a little surprising to not pick those up. Especially, I am sure that part of the thought process there is, okay, I can just get those when I go child, because I have to go out, do child shooting anyway. So it's not like he's not gonna read them. It's just, he might end up double taking. Alright. Composer Grave, one of our dual hints here. We will be getting 3 of those. Nothing on the Torches, and Epona is our song there.
Has a bit less value with Horseback Archery. We know it's dead because there's nothing in the fortress because it was hinted foolish, but nice for movement, and you know that might be your logical access into Gerudo Training Ground if we need to go there. Gav, what's going on? We got there in the end.
Yeah, Gav got a little weird camera there. But it'll be fine. He's got plenty of time.
Yeah, this is still going to be faster than any of my Damplay clears ever.
Right?
So, not a problem.
Yep.
So now Hells is going child, so he'll find that actually he doesn't need to bother about child suiting because he's going to get those foolish hints.
Yep, exactly. And we did get our dungeon layout from Hells, so Spirit and Jabu are the other 2 stones that we have to do, and then Deku and Forest. And DC, very unfortunately, is our pre-completed dungeon. I say unfortunately because it's such an easy decision to make, like, oh, early explosives, plenty of checks there, I'm gonna go do Dodogos, and not today.
No, even if it's a dungeon that you don't, it's not required for the bridge or for the Ganon's boss key. It's nice to get DC done early because, as you mentioned, there's a lot of checks, and it can also, it's nice for that to lead to the song if you need whatever's on the vanilla prelude check, so behind the Forest Medallion or behind Burning Cack, for example. It's nice to have one of those 3 dungeons done nice and quickly, but yeah, no such luck on this occasion. Hells is going to do, I think, the classic thing when you go child, which is backwalk all the way into Lon Lon Ranch.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we end up seeing him. Valley is foolish, so he won't be going there, but I wouldn't be too surprised if he ends up going Lake and seeing if he can perhaps pick up a letter in this child segment and do Open Grotto on the way to Kokiri Forest. But we'll see. It's also very popular to check your child spawn out of the silo in back here when you peek that item or pick up that item. And especially with Nocturne, I can see him opting to maybe go do chickens and turn in Keaton Mask instead of that.
Yeah, I think either of those plays would make a lot of sense. When you get the random spawn, it's nice to know where that is because it helps with your routing later on. Even if it's something as uneventful as you just spawn back at the front of Lon Lon Ranch, it's better than being in the back of Lon Lon Ranch.
The number of times that has happened to me that I have checked my child spawn from the silo and it's just been right outside the silo. It shouldn't happen as often as it does.
It feels like the game knows sometimes. Randobot is funnier than any of us will ever be.
Alright. Ooh, Bolero. Alright.
That's good for some movement later on when Hells Goes Back adult. You can use
Yeah.
that to maybe get some song chains going.
Yep, it doesn't do a whole lot for us as child, but there's a chance that you need it to plant a bean.
Yeah, you can of course get the check on the volcano with hover boots if you've got them, but we don't have those yet. And with Shadow being the fire medallion, you're secretly hoping to not have to see them at all.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yep.
Although they do make a lot of the dungeons a little bit cleaner.
I probably wouldn't go out of my... I would, but if I were one of these runners, I probably wouldn't go out of my way for the hovers.
And a nice spawn back to market outside the bomb chew shop. Oh, no, that's the treasure chest game shop.
Oh, classic. Alright, so... we did not see a Nocturne play immediately. This is Kokiri Forest for Hells. And I would not be too surprised to watch Gav do exactly what we saw Hells do.
I mean, there's a reason why a lot of the tried and tested plays are the tried and tested plays, and it's because they're sensible and they're good for routing.
I know,
like, they make sense.
I think about that in the top runners. It's like, no matter where you end up as a random spawn, they all know what the best thing to do from that location is.
Yeah, there's always a lot of debate about how you tackle spawns. Do you make them vanilla? Do you say completely random? Do you make one age random and one not? Do you start with prelude to help ease movement? Things like that. It's one of the questions, and depending on which settings you play, you're going to have, a different rules, not rule set, but, you're going to have to play with random spawns or vanilla spawns or whatever, so you need to know what your best options are, no matter where you might potentially land.
Yeah, I think that we've seen a couple of SGLCs where the free prelude start has caused some very amusing spawn points, because it does open up things like, oh, here you're randomly in Wasteland as child, or spawning in Fountain. But yeah, I think random spawns are more interesting, but I hear a lot gimme vanilla spawns.
I think as a viewer they're absolutely more interesting, but as a player I can see why you like the consistency of knowing exactly where you're coming every time.
I don't want to think for the first 10 minutes. I gotta fill out my tracker, my hints. Hello, Mido.
Is he indeed providoing? That's a long shot.
Long shot. That's interesting, for sure. And choose. There we go. That's what we were really looking for.
Love having choose.
There's Bolero for Gav. Let's hope that it's at least one of the 10 packs and not the 5 pack.
We won't think about the 20 pack yet. That feels like asking for trouble.
Getting greedy.
Forest Twin Rover.
All right. Well, so far that's long shot.
Yeah, I mean that has to be long shot, because it was that. It's just that. Oh no, there could be something in the Storm's Grotto.
Yeah, we do have a Storm's Grotto available at some point. We just don't have storms yet. But long shot's one of those classic ones where you're like, alright, we either have to cross, or there's just a small key on the right hand, And
I hadn't even thought about spirit key logic. Why would you put that evil into the air? Yeah, the thing is, at the moment, it is just satisfied by a very simple... it might be logic to cross into Fortress and then cross the Wasteland. But if hover boots turn up, if the opponent, depending on how we can get to Epona, which we know is in the Royal Tomb, that potentially changes things. Kokiri Forest to Phantom Ganon. At the moment, that looks like that's exactly what I meant. Thank you, Mel. At the moment, that looks like being Saria, because we know that it can't be the hookshot that we saw, because we've got the other one.
Yep. And part of that hint prioritization, if that hookshot in Kokiri Forest is Pata Twinrova, that means the other one is as well. So, even aside from both of them being available, The Twin Rova hint would have eaten that. Thanks, game. But yeah, sorry for access to forest. Pretty classic, but I would not skip out on 10 skulls and chickens in this case, to be totally honest. Wait, what?
Excuse me?
Our bombs or our scale or something locking lullaby is in lake, I guess.
Yeah, it has to be for access now because we've got.
I guess we're not really pushing Lake Hylia quite yet. Instead, we're just gonna watch Jabu be our first dungeon, sub 30 minutes probably.
Yeah, it's worth noting that with the chew pack that we found in Midos, that gets you access into river, not logical access, but who really cares about that? You can get into river, and they can use the chicken to cheat their way into Zora's domain, and that's absolutely fine.
Yep, totally legal. The game just says, no, you wouldn't do that. Yes, we would.
In the words of that great philosophical sect, the 1980s Raiders, cheating is encouraged.
Alright, Oot is dead. Piece of heart.
That's, in a way, kind of annoying, because you're going to pick up all 3 stones anyway. You have to.
Yeah, so in these settings, Ocarina of Time is a sometimes hint. We just happen to get that this time. Okay. Game gives us Daria's probably path, both checks dead. And Zora Tunic on Frogs 2.
I don't see that being picked up.
No. Definitely
The interesting thing I always find is when you get choose is how you choose to use them. Obviously now Hells has got letter and has got boomerang. Maybe they're thinking, okay, it's bombs or scale in Lake Hylia, so I can maybe be a bit more expansive with how I want to use these. You're thinking less about maybe trying to scum them away, because on the one hand you want to get the most out of them you can, but sometimes you find if you're constantly saving and resetting, especially if you're on virtual console as what the Hells is, then that time does add up.
Oh no. Hearts, please. There they are. And just picks up 1 heart. Thank you so much.
It's all he needs. It's all he needs.
Not hook shot, Manchi. You can cross the broken bridge with long shot or Epona. There are some rule sets that allow just hook shot. It's not this though. And a mirror shield. We need that.
We absolutely need that.
Okay. So this is one of those decisions like you were talking about. We saw Hell save, and all of these chews that he's using here, he's hoping to kind of scum away.
He's in that weird state of he both does and doesn't want to find anything here. Because if he doesn't find anything, then he can get his chews back. But if he does find something, well, he's found something. But he doesn't get the chews anymore.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the things about... Ooh, alright. Well, we're
Good
saving
decision.
that probably.
Yeah, we know that we need at least 2 strengths. Just to beat Spirit Temple. With an inside Ganon's castle path, there's a good chance we need 3. With over half of the checks being inside the strength 3 locked light trial. So, absolutely you're keeping the strength.
Wally coming in with zingers. But yeah, so in Lake, it's either going to be a bomb or a scale. We do not know where Lullaby is. Maybe it's Iron's in Lake and it's just a Lullaby-free water for Lullaby on Prelude?
I mean, I kind of want to see it because that would be absolutely wild.
Oh, that's what's on 30 Skulls? I thought it said 2 something, and I'm like, what are there 2 of? Okay. Thank you. Alright, irons are on 30. Disgusting.
We're not seeing 30 skulls, chat.
No.
40 and 50 are disabled in these settings, right? And 20 and 30 hinted at the skull house. We mentioned that Hells might do this. He is, at the moment, ignoring the Lake Hylia path and just taking a chicken upriver.
Yep. The one like downside of this is you're leaving behind Frogs 1.
I think anyone who's played this for enough hours knows that Frogs 1 has probably bit on you on at least one occasion. I've done all the storms checks, he thinks, incorrectly.
Never happened to me. No.
Those goddamn frogs. It's annoying because it's a check that I actually quite enjoy. I just think it's funny, but doesn't mean that I've forgotten it.
Alright, so Gab did end up doing Ocarina minigame and getting that letter. It is a slower check, and some runners decide to skip it to try and get a little bit of an advantage on their opponent. I was a little concerned, because I don't usually see Gav make those kinds of plays, but you never know when you're doing something like a best of 3 series against an opponent that, like, I would not want to play either of these guys.
God no. Well, I mean, I would, because it'd be a good lesson, I think. But, it would not be close.
Gav did not skip anything, Mara. I was saying that's good. That he
it's always trying to toe that balance of kind of, you know, the quality of your opponent, so you want to go as fast as possible, obviously, but on the other hand, you want to make sure that you're being thorough, and you think, well, maybe if they skip it, then I can maybe sneak an advantage of them there, or just I don't want to what's the phrase? More speed, less haste. Like, you don't want to get ahead of yourself and feel like you have to go super hard and then miss something. Like, the devil's in the details sometimes.
Yep. That is not what I said, Dastar. Said I don't usually know Gab to play super aggressive and skip checks, so I was glad that he stuck to his norm. Yes, Munchie. Yes, agree.
Yeah, so it's been single eliminate. It's been best of 1 until this point. Semi-finals and finals are both best of 3. For Gav, they were the number 1 seed coming in. They beat Oxyman in round 1, Brotinda Dos in round 2, and True in round 3. What the Hells came in as the 12th seed, and they knocked off Mr. Mario, Rock Chalk, and Fabio. So as you can see, they both had a real breeze into the semi-finals. No difficult opponents there at all.
Yeah, no.
Not in a minute. Like, I think, as you probably expect, when you've got such a condensed field, like with only 32 runners in it, that there are no easy games. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's been a really good tournament so far. Honestly, every match has been great to watch. And so I do know Hells really loves domain checks. Watch this be Stone of Agony now that I've said that.
These are, again, some more of those checks that sometimes you see runners skip because they're a bit slow, but they've both kind of covered, they took slightly different routes at the start, and they've now covered each other up, and they're basically now in exactly the same place, having done exactly the same things. As there is one of the 50 slingshots in the game.
Yep. Hey, slingshots do something. Slingshots do not do much since we have a boomerang, but it is still logically required for beating Deku, doing Goma, and target in the woods.
Yeah, the only hard slingshot lock check the game. That was a mouthful.
Yeah. Yeah, Gab, I don't believe has won SGL previously. I know Hells did.
You're maybe a bit more of a historian than I am. Oh, Chickens is dead.
Chickens is dead. All right.
Nice. How many years has there been the SGL tournament? Because I know obviously that during the pandemic things might have been a bit different, but
You know, I'm not entirely sure. I believe 2018? And that's a good point. Gab did not do Goron City yet. There is a strike there on Hot Rodder or the big rolling Goron.
Hot Rod is such a better name. Why does the rando have him as Big Rolling Goron? It's so boring. Ugh.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, like, where did 2019? Yeah.
This also makes sense from Hells making sure he's getting 10 skulls because he knows that that we've had a Cackway the hero, which we strongly suspect is Saria's. If it's not that, then at this point it has to be a bow on 10 skulls because we've got strength and we've got a hook shot.
Yeah, and we do know that it's not going to be like bombs for that because we have a lake path that is either bombs or a scale or something that locks Lullaby. Not discounting that quite yet. It's kind of interesting to... I mean, there is a chance that Lullaby is on Adult Sacred Forest Meadow or on Bolero or behind Crossing, but we don't have most of the Crossing kit yet.
No, we've got the long shot, so that satisfies A, the crossing the bridge into Fortress, and B, the crossing the River of Sand bit.
Yep.
But you still need, logically, magic and a lens.
Yep.
Kind of goes without saying that neither of these runners need magic or the lens, but the game logically expects you to have them. I mean, technically, you don't actually need to have long shot or hovers to cross the River of Sand either.
But the game expects you to. And really, we're all just here at the whim of this 25-year-old video game.
Honestly, it's kind of amazing that you feel like by now everyone's seen everything, but every now and again, you take a long sideways glance and be like, "Excuse me?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hell's having a tough Shabam room there.
Again, going to make the point that that there are enemies in this game called Bubbles, and they're not the Bubbles.
And they're not the Bubbles. The
Why,
Bubbles
Nintendo?
are the, like, flying skulls. And the Shabams are the bubbles. Oh, no more beeping. I'm assuming we are now using Gav's audio.
I looked at it and thinking, why is the audio not matching up? And then I realised that we'd switched. Interesting to see what the hell's not going for the swag strat of using Ruto to kill everything.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
Ruto's
a
pretty
biggie.
slow though.
It is slow, but it's funny. And again, what's the real winner here?
All right, blue
Oh,
fire.
blue fire. I'm not going to say it, but I know someone will. If you've not seen it, by the way, there's a video on YouTube from Video James of kind of using a decompiler essentially to put Ruto into all the kind of major boss fights, and it turns out you can kill pretty much any enemy in the game with Princess Ruto. It's well worth watching.
It is. It's actually a very funny video to watch. Baronade is the Jabu boss. Yes. So the lake path is going to be access to Jabu. It's either going to be bombs or a scale or something that's locking Lullaby. Because you need a way to go up or around river. Scale actually negates both bombs and Lullaby, so you're kind of hoping that it's a scale. It answers more questions than not. But you need, a way to go up river or around river and into domain. Logically, the game expects you to need Lullaby for that.
The tentacles are down. So we're now going to go and meet a very large cephalopod. By the way, I can't believe that we've seen both runners pick up a blue fire bottle on stream, and not one person in chat said rush ice. What have we become?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends on what you want. I would want info on where Lullaby is. But honestly, I'm trying to think where we're at. With both Rang and 2 hookshots being available right away, I'm pretty sure Iron Boots are in Logic.
Oh yes, on 30 Skulls. They'd have to be, right?
I think so.
I can see chat's opinions on Ice Cabin are very split.
I have no problem with Ice Cavern.
I've got no problem with it as long as I don't have to go there. Big Octo looks scary, but one jump slash from a Deku stick, all you need.
If you're good at the game. I need like 4
No,
attempts.
I'm not good at the game, and I think I've managed it at least once.
I think it's important to know how to push the block baseball. Alright. Oh no! He missed the platform. I'm joking. This is called box skip. And it is a frame perfect, double frame perfect trick that what the hell's just nailed first try.
I've seen people line it up with pause buffering as well. But yeah, essentially, you can skip the block by spacing out a jump slash onto the platform, and then rolling into the door. And if you get it, if you time it perfectly and line it up perfectly, you can sneak in there before the webbing comes over it.
Yeah.
And here's Baronade. Whatever the hell Baronade is.
Well, it claims to be... Is it just parasite? Is that all it is? Just a parasitic amoeba? I don't know.
Let me check this.
Electric anemone. Okay.
Bioelectric anemone.
All right. So These runners, excellent setups for beating Baronade. You can see, pretty easy peasy. I think Hell's missed a jump slash in there, took an extra pop up, but we'll see Gav doing the same. I think he might have caught up a little bit of time on Hell's in here, which is actually really impressive.
It's tough. It's tough.
Hell's execution has been pretty amazing today.
Yeah, just didn't quite get the shabombs as cleanly as he would have liked, and as you mentioned, missed a jump slash on Baronade, and it's not a lot of time lost, but it's a little bit.
Yep. And I don't think Gav actually picked up any skulls in here, which is probably the rest of the time.
Oh, that is true. Have they seen the
yes.
Yeah, it was in Forest in SFM, right?
It was in Lost Woods near the bridge scrub. And
I knew it was over there somewhere.
there's the other copy. Alright. I am surprised that Hell's is safe quitting here. Because they start with Prelude, and he plays on Virtual Console where save quits are pretty slow. Is that a strength?
No idea.
I don't know what was on top of the volcano, but I'm pretty sure that was a strength in the wall of crater. And King Zora dead, I think.
Yeah, recovery heart. So he is very much going to stay frozen. What the hell's checking the field, doing the field checks maybe into Lake?
Yeah, this is a little interesting as a way to be using these chews right now. So I'm curious what the plan is, if he's expecting a bomb bag in Lake. Meanwhile, Gav is gonna go show us if that was a strength or not.
Didn't plant a bean.
Yep. And there is Lullaby in the crater, so we don't need to worry about that.
So that's not going to be in, like, well, we know Lullaby's not going to be in it, but it's not going to be for Lullaby access.
Yep.
Although having said... No, because we've got Bolero. Ignore me.
Alright.
I was like, but we still need a way to get into the crater with the hook shot, and then I was like, no, we don't.
we have both hook shots.
And we literally warped into the crater, so we don't need to worry about stopping the small rolling Goron.
Yep. So Gav not getting that strength off Hot Rudder for now. 6 chews versus Hell's 2. Or did he lose one?
Down to 1 now, so maybe Spirit Temple to Goma.
Huh?
Okay, game.
So
explain.
It's gotta be the other strength.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you're right, it was a strength in the wall. So yeah, strength 3 in the in Spirit Temple, the classic, gets you so you can move the block in the light trial and pick up the Kakiri sword there.
Yep.
Goodbye, sweet chews.
Yeah, I mean, he is really kind of... Alright,
so it's a bomb bag.
Bomb locked scale. That is promising that it's actually a bomb bag here in Lake.
Doesn't mean it's... I mean, there's also the thing...
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll let you finish the point.
No, go ahead.
It doesn't mean it's in Child Lake.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's in Child Lake, because we had very free hook shots. Yes, it does mean Gav is going to have to do Child Goron City. But the way Spirit works out sometimes, it's possible that our strength there happens to be accessible as adult, which would be, or as child, which would be pretty, wait. Is that a slingshot? Regardless, all 3 strengths are gonna have to be found. I suppose it's possible that it's one of the fire sources, like spirit isn't actually fire locked, but...
Again, chat evidently more eagle-eyed than I am.
Well, Hells didn't dive for it.
If it was a bomb bag, there's no way they wouldn't have dived for it. That like just isn't happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we have an inside Ganon's castle path to Goma and a spirit temple path to Goma. And since we already have 2 strengths, it can't be something... Again, the way the hint prioritization works is it can't be something that's required for a spirit temple.
Because the prioritization system prioritizes the stone dungeons over the medallion dungeons.
Yeah. AD is still on the table, yes. So far, we don't have any indication we need to go into water, shadow, and fire, but that doesn't mean we don't. And it was, unfortunately, not on child fishing or Rudo's letter spot.
And there's no sign of Serenade, so it's a bit of a hike to get back there.
Yeah, and I mean... Okay. I wouldn't be too surprised if Hells rushes that anyway, because for him, after picking up this strength in the crater, the fire's almost, or spirit's almost completable, potentially.
Yeah, we are, of course, in the Schrodinger's all dungeon state, where, as far as we know, we both do and don't need Requiem, and that might or might not be on... Oh, you gonna make it?
Oof. It's fine.
It'll be fine. Yeah, we don't know whether we need Requiem, and if we do need it, we don't know where it is yet. So let's just forget about it and hope it's all fine. I've still got no idea what was on that peak.
Mm-hmm. So, like, that's not wrong, Alfalfa, but it wouldn't... Spirit would be path to Twin Rova in that case. Because any items that you end up finding in Spirit are then path to Spirit. But it could be for Requiem for Child Spirit having strength, I think. Alright, so Silver's for Hells, Lullaby for Hells.
And where now for Hells?
10 Skulls.
Just double confirm that it's the Saria path in CAC.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Aren't there lens lock checks in Goron City? No, there aren't.
But the only lens locked checks in the rando are the chest minigame in the market, which has been hinted dead because the market is foolish, and requiring it to cross the wasteland. Oh, Ganon's castle.
Yes and no. Not in these settings, because everything in Ganon's is What is it called? Few lens requirement. I don't remember what it's actually called to have these tricks the way they are, but it's just like lens is only 2 checks. Yeah.
How's this going back into Goron City?
I think he's going ice. He's got a bottle out. Alright. So Gav showing us our adult lake hammer.
No.
Hammer for the scale?
Okay, yeah. That's not as horrible as it might be. I'll allow it. I don't love it, but I'll allow it.
Yeah, hammer works because we did see that scale. I think that kind of means Rush Ice has a little validity here, honestly. Our Bombig could just be chilling on the iceberg.
Although it looks like he's going into forest.
Just wants the song for sure. But I mean, I suppose you could. Do we even need a Bombig at this point? We need some kind of explosives. Hells is out of choose and will need to find. Yeah, you need at least one more to get through Spirit.
Yeah, you can't get through the room with the Beamos and the 3 Anubis without explosives.
Yep. But yeah, you can pick up a wallet and just buy them. Alright, so Saria's is in fact path. Boring.
Yep. Yes, one of the quality of life changes in the randomizer is that the big fish always spawns in the same place, so you can just line that up and it's relatively free until they do the right thing and put the Hylian Loach into the randomizer pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, long shot in these earlier dungeons, real nice.
Not in a state to be able to full clear it because we don't have the bow.
There we go. All right. So Gav has access to a lot of checks now to find a bomb bag. Yeah, not all fish are big fish. That's why people go after the same fish. But I do believe that the randomizer removes some of the fish's ability to get away and lowers the actual weight requirement from the vanilla game.
Adult fishing was just nuts.
Yep, but we did get a hammer.
Yeah, but you haven't completely cleared Lake because there's still the shoot the sun check. It's just that we can't do it yet because we haven't got a bow.
Speaking of,
as I was saying, I knew that was going to happen.
That's great for Gav, very unfortunate for Hells. Because...
Yeah, so then
oh, go ahead.
Then they're now both missing items that the other one found, kind of in the rough region of Death Mountain. There's the strength on the child Hot Rod of Goron, that what the Hells found, and there's the bow that Gav found in obviously, of course, on the Trail Ferry. What maybe works in what the Hells' favour a little bit is that we know that there are 2 other bows and you only need 1, whereas we suspect at the moment that Gav probably needs all 3 strengths.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still plenty of game left in this one.
Yep. Yeah, so Gav is going to go into forest, not have to double dip. For Hells, at least, Minuet was here. It's not, like, convolutedly locked behind anything else. So definitely going to lose a little bit of time having to come back in here, and it'll just depend on when he finds more explosives to pick up that bow, or if there's another bow available.
Or if he goes to, whatchamacallit, Lake and gets the hammer.
Yep. Alright.
Isn't it free Scarecrow?
It is free Scarecrow. You know what? It's fine. Easy. So,
Swag.
yeah, free Scarecrow is on in this. You don't have to make a trip to Lake as child and adult, unless something's in Lake. But, yep, Gav just wanted to show off that glitchless jump and did it nicely. Hell's picking up the horse. Makes sense, because he's gonna go back to Lake. And we'll see what he decides to do with that hammer. And warping back to the Nocturne pad, actually faster than walking out of here.
It's one of the things that seems kind of wrong until you maybe give it a bit more thought or actually time it. The one that always gets me is that if you're at the Temple of Time and you want to get just outside of town, it's quicker to play Serenade and pick up the owl to get there than it is just to walk through town. I can't grasp it.
Alright, just another bottle on 10 skulls. Gav will be picking up skulls in Forest here. It's a little faster than the skulls Hells picks up along the way in Jabu. But I would fully expect a little horse ride to Lake here. Meanwhile, Gav just gonna go through Forest. We didn't see anything super exciting yet.
But he's going to be able to full clear this because he's got the strength, he's got the bow, and obviously you don't actually need the hook once you're inside, but he's got the hook to get inside, so can just kind of steamroll right through this while Hells picks up the hammer, and then what they do with that hammer remains to be seen. But the way that Forest Temple's laid out is you can do the courtyard area of checks, and with having picked up Minuet in its vanilla location, you're not losing necessarily a huge amount of time coming back and getting to where you were. It's not, say, a Shadow Temple, which is a lot more linear in progression.
Yeah. And he didn't even go up to Floor Master, which he could have with that strength. Just entirely going to be warping back and going exactly to where Gav is going right now. One of the things that Hells could decide to do is go into fire. Instead of doing those kind of quick checks around the crater area first. I don't think he would do that, but it's always a possibility.
No, my general strategy is to try and go into fire as little as possible.
Yeah, same.
I know that people don't. I think that people think that Forest is boring or whatever, but it's I'd much rather be in here than fire.
Yep. He could also so cool. Go GTG.
Can't full clear GTG without the bow or without the iron boots, and we've not had a hint for the sunken silver rupee check. But you can work out whether that's going to be a key or not based on what else you find. Presuming, of course, that you can clear all the other checks, which we can't because we don't have the bow.
Yep.
And that prevents you from the eye switch in the lobby and the statue room as well.
Yep. Yeah, so my thought here is I'm trying to piece together our Phantom Ganon path. mostly because I'm not expecting our bombs to be here in forest at this point. Because otherwise Saria's would be path to Twinrova. Alright, where are we going? We don't need bombs for Phantom Ganon. But we do need bombs for Twinrova. And so the fact that we have a path to Phantom Ganon implies that Saria's is not required for our Jabu or Spirit completion. So I'm not expecting much to be in forest because of that.
No. Maybe you see a light arrows or something, but side note, it looks like what the hell's is probably going to GTG.
Yep. And I don't disagree with this play. There is a lot that he can do in GTG, and frankly, he wants to cross for whatever song is out at Spirit. I get that.
With a long shot path, there's a decent possibility that you've got a vanilla Requiem.
But yeah, we'll see. Already forgetting that Valley is foolish. Classic.
Oh yeah! I'd also forgotten that. Fortress is also foolish, so he doesn't even need to get caught so he can strategically peek the chest.
Yep. So I'm very curious how much time he spends in here. Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see where items and songs kind of shake out here. We still don't have a Burning Kakariko hint, which is a little concerning.
Oh, I see. You're crossing the wasteland so you can get the hint. Smart.
Yeah, I mean, he'll definitely do what he can here. Yes and no, DJ Trails. We're working with a hint prioritization system that can give us more information than the hint itself.
I think the important thing to note is that if we need to do forest, there's nothing in there, and if we don't need to do forest, it's loaded.
Right. Basically. The biggest hint we have is whether or not forest is required or not. But yeah, the only information that we have right now is that Hammer locked a scale and will lock our other scale and our bomb bags.
Right, that's a really good way of explaining it in chat. It's like the chest, what you find in the chest is logically unimportant, but it doesn't mean that they're actually not important.
Right.
Sometimes the fact that you find that there's nothing in them tells you a lot.
Yep.
It's it's a very different logic quirk that you don't normally see.
Mm-hmm.
In kind of the main standard tournaments, because they're hinting towards the same thing. Ooh, biggie. It's 6 medallion, bridge, and boss key. Classic. So you never have to worry about prioritization, but you do see it in other formats where often it tries to prioritize hints for bridge over hints for boss key and things like that. It's just, again, one of many quirks that the randomizer can throw at you.
Yep. Alright, lots of keys behind these silvers here. Yeah, so what Gav found here in Forest is a perfect example of what we were trying to describe. There's unique items here that have no logical relevance. And that one in particular is only funny because of the name. Okay. Is this a key or nothing?
Yes.
Key.
Oh, that's a key.
Yeah, so the reason I ask that is logically hammer locked. So who knows? Perhaps that's required for our bomb bag in GTG.
If there's a major item, yeah, deep in the maze, then logically we need all 9 keys. Like, if it's right in the center, logically you need all 9 keys to get there, even though actually you only need 7 keys, because the randomizer assumes that you are an idiot and that you waste your keys.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Gab already in Falling Ceiling Room, getting Bast Key.
Yeah, Gav's past the point in Forest where small keys are going to turn up. At this point, it's all items.
Yeah. Just some hearts here on the right side. Very interesting.
That's a key.
Picking it up. Makes sense.
He can't do the BMOS and Lizalfos room because it does not have any explosives.
Yep. He will be able to peek one of the bow lock checks that he's leaving behind before taking off. Hells won't be an entire forest behind, but will be a bit behind. Gav, though, doesn't have much direction at this point anyway. I wouldn't be too surprised to see him come in here.
Looks like more keys.
Yeah. And nothing in the maze. So at that point, it'll just be, alright, we know one of the bow lock checks is just a key. I wasn't counting keys, but I think there are 2 more.
Yeah.
Plus 7.
There are 2 more, I think. So, we've got 3 checks left that we haven't, 4 checks left that we haven't seen. We've got the two bow chests in the front, and we've also got the BMOS room to the right, and of course, the toilet.
Yep. Alright. I'm gonna get a peek at Wasteland here, see what song is across. Yeah, the center eye statue chest. We did see the Pierre bow-locked chest, though, being a key. Alright. Basement of Forest with its nice speed-ups.
I was amazed when this first came in because I obviously had not been paying attention, and I saw it happen on stream, and I was like, what the hell? Have they cheated? No. This is standard now.
And another bottle. I think that's all of our bottles, actually.
Delicious milk. That is bottle percent, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Forest Temple is a huge time sink, but they're both gonna have to do it because it's required today. Our stone dungeons, Jabu and Spirit, are required, and then our Light Arrow cutscene Lax dungeons, which are Shadow and Spirit medallions, Deku and Forest.
I hope for what the hell's sake that it's Requiem out here, because
Yeah.
if not, it's gonna suck to have to cross again.
Yeah, agreed. No magic.
You know, he doesn't have bombs, so he's not been able to check the ferry.
Yep.
Doesn't have a wallet, so we can't even buy shoes on the way.
That bomb bag? No.
It's something.
I think it is. It's a bomb bag
Is
or
it
a wallet.
It's something brown.
Requiem? Ay.
E.
Alright. We have many answers to many questions. It's a bag of some kind. And that's disgusting in many ways.
So, I think the fact that what the hell is immediately going child leads me to believe that he is keen on picking up that bag.
Yeah, so happy 1 hour, everyone. We're a little late. Give our runners What the Hell's Happened in Gavaroni a follow. They're doing a great job here. Gav currently has the advantage, having found a bow in Death Mountain Trail Great Fairy. Yeah, Inko agreed. Hell's actually not, like... GTG was a time sink, but it's one that I am expecting Gav to do as well because there are no other things for him to find. He is also missing a Strength 2 that Hell's found in Child Goron City. And we are expecting them to need all 3 strengths at this point because of a Inside Ganon's Castle hint for Deku Tree.
What the hell is this going to do, Child Spirit, while they're here? Which makes all the sense in the world to me.
Yep, agreed. And then thank you to our trackers today, Baseball and Fortaunt, Skyrius, pushing all the buttons, filling in the note sheet. Because God knows I can't remember anything minute to minute.
No, our job is made so much easier by the people doing the actual work behind the scenes.
And Benji, thanks for joining me on comms.
Always a pleasure. Great to be alongside you. What the hell's you picked up 10 skulls?
Yep, it was a bottle.
So why is he picking up more skulls? Unless he's thinking about those iron boots.
Might be thinking about those iron boots. Yeah, and I really don't blame him at all for thinking that, having not found that bow yet. I'm really curious if there's anything in GTG. Again, not really expecting it, but...
Oh!
Alright, there's the golds.
On the one hand, that's good for Gav because he can just get the silver gauntlets and go strength 2.
Yeah.
And go and clear the adult side.
On the other hand, I agree with Toffile. I think that's bad for Gav.
Yeah. Because when are they going to go to Goron City and pick up the other strength?
And no keys on child side. Planted a bean.
Thinking about those beans.
Yep. Yeah, so this is one of those kind of interesting things about the hints. There are 3 strengths available, meaning that they're not really path for Twinrova. You can take your pick between them. But it does mean that we need all 3 strengths for Goma. Yep. And yeah, I mean, Gav is gonna have no reason to do child cleanup for a long while. But this is, like, the seed's also not giving you a whole lot to work with.
Welcome, everybody, to your logical bomb bag.
Yay, bomb bag!
How was the game expecting you to get that? It's expecting you to get the hammer from Lake Hylia to pick up a scale, to get into the top of Zora's River, to go downriver and buy a bean.
Yeah, we still don't have crossing logic. I'm very curious where that ends up being, and it could be here in GTG or even in Fire.
There's a good point in chat that... Yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead. No, I was going to say that, yeah, that's still logically behind crossing, so wherever magic and lens are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's very interesting. It explains a lot why Market would be foolish. Don't die, Gav. Gav, don't die.
It's good advice.
Dying is slow. I believe Gav is also on Virtual Console, so dying is extra slow. No, Gav. Fairy? Fairy! Let's go.
When did you get that fairy?
I don't know. No idea. And just the one key. Interesting. This could be actually a very nasty Spirit Temple key layout. Since we don't have magic or fire yet.
Did you do the bow checks in the first room?
Yeah.
There wasn't a key there, was there?
There was a key.
Okay, so I think that makes toilet an item.
Yep, that's what chat is saying.
Uh-oh. Ooh, a biggie.
And our boss key. So this is kind of... Hells could make a very interesting decision here. Oh, no. Because he can just... He has golds. He should know that that's our path to Goma. And he could go do that right now. Just needs 2 more keys. And he can go beat Twinrova. But we don't have fire.
Yeah, we're still on the hunt for magic and light arrows. Those are the 2 things that we 100% need to beat the seed alongside for what the hell's the bow, and for both of them the Kakiri sword that has to be in Ganon's castle, or at least whatever's locking it at this point.
Calm down, Spirit. Yeah, he's definitely thinking about those iron boots.
Joy.
Right. That should be our last slingshot.
When it comes to slingshots, oh, he's locked out.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is what I was saying. This is a nasty key layout for him.
Logically, he needs a fire source.
Yeah, logically, but also he needs his bow if he wants to do bow stuff. Because he can't even go back in as child now. But that's probably good for him, because he is doing the checks he needs to now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it depends. If he comes out of this ferry and goes straight up to the other ferry, he's fine. If he decides that he's going to go into Goron City and go to Ice Cavern, I mean, he might still be fine, but...
He would do that ferry before going to Ice anyway.
I agree with you. But you never know. Also, there's two different tricks involving pushing Armos and the bow in Spirit Temple, right? There's the one in the main room, which is the riveting content, right? And then there's the bow crap in the sunblock room.
Yeah, both are bow crap. It's nowhere near as bad. Hey, Haunted Wasteland hinted too. That's nice. This game's actually given us a lot of good information about where things are and aren't. Our poor runners, though, probably aren't really able to process it because they're both thinking right now, oh man, Hells is gonna find a bow here and actually be very concerned, I think, about where he's at. Meanwhile, Gav is not finding anything in GTG and is probably having a bit of a, oh man, I just wasted all this time in GTG.
And he's going to finish Forest first before going to Spirit, which I think makes sense because he's hoping that maybe he finds a fire source.
Yep.
In Forest, so he doesn't have to cheese it with the bow.
Yep, makes a lot of sense. And he found that bow at a time that is very good for him because Gav is going to cross here, AC that bomb bag, do Child Spirit, and be able to do Adult Spirit and beat it. Also in one go. But again, he's not going to find that Kokiri sword. And he's going to have to go on a strength 3 hunt, and I think that's where he's going to end up losing most of his time back to Hells.
Yeah, I think that's the crux of it at the moment. Chat pointing out that at the moment, well, we know that Gav is still going to have to do bow stuff, because even if he finds magic or a fire source in the Colossus Fairy, he can only find one of them and he's not going to find the other.
Yeah, Gav doesn't have strength 2. We're predicting the future in a way that's not really predicting.
It's educated guessing of the future.
It's an educated, I wouldn't even call it a guess.
Hells did not check the fairy because as soon as he got the bomb bag, he went straight into Spirit.
Yeah, nope. Yeah, I would expect that he does that after beating Spirit.
How does Gav know where to go? It's so dark.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I know you're mostly joking, but I hate doing Wasteland at night.
It's one of those, like, it's awful. If you've got Sunsong to hand, I think it's one of the sneaky good uses of Sunsong, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would also say, like, at this point, I am really not concerned about whatever song is on Burning Cack until the light arrows end up being in bottom of the well. Oh no, Gav.
Bottom of the well or the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have 100% seen seeds where you get all the way to Ganon, and he's like, aha, you'll never find the light arrows in the graveyard. And the only trick you've not done there is the Sunsong grave. And then you forfeit.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of the song checks that we've not seen, it's Prelude, Burning Cack, and Serenade.
Yep. Nice Cavern. Yeah, Storms on Burning Cack. Sunsong just for the sheer fact that you'd have to... Oh no, did Gav void again?
Ouch.
Ooh. Yeah, I am guessing this is a little bit of nerves, honestly. Gav is probably thinking 8 or 9 steps ahead, and honestly, crossing Wasteland, you still need to be a little bit in the moment.
Yeah, because it is just kind of muscle memory. But I think for a lot of people, doing going backwards across the wasteland is easier than going forwards.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. I feel like there's more setups for going backwards than there are for going forwards.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he'll be okay this time, though.
It looks okay, but then the last attempts looked okay to me, so...
Yep, magic and a fire source have to be somewhere. Magic has to be somewhere even before crossing. Our fire source could be this fairy fountain that Gav is going to be able to do. That Hells didn't.
It could also be second magic in here.
Could be second magic in here.
Not that that matters.
It would be our first magic. Just not the one the game expects us to have. Just $5.
I think What the Hells is going to enjoy opening this chest.
Yeah, I would say... Aside from magic and lights, Hells is pretty much in glow mode. I'm curious where everything is. What place that the game expects us to go is holding our magic.
Where's Gav going?
10 skulls. Adult shooting.
Oh, true. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, chickens, nothing.
I think it's 5 arrows.
Oh no.
Oof.
It's fine. You just whoop, back up.
Oh, skills.
Recover. Yeah, 10 skulls was a bottle, but I think that's what Gav is going to do.
I think if Gav's got really good eyes, he could have just about seen that it was a bomb bag on there.
Yeah,
I
think Gav knows that it's something he needs, but he's not gonna be able to get it until he goes child again anyway.
Because at the moment, of course, he can't complete adult spirit because he's only got the one strength.
Mm-hmm.
He can pick up He can pick up a second from child spirit when he chooses to go back child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure whether he bought beans.
I don't think... But he did. I mean, he had to go upriver. This is a good shout for magic, actually.
Oh.
He does have beans? Okay, thanks, Toffo.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Not our
well,
magic,
there's one of
but
the
our
pieces. There we go. Yeah, so if anything, that's the better one to find. Because you know that the magic also has to be before crossing.
Yep.
Whereas, you know, if there was magic there, then the fire source, for example, could be elsewhere in spirit. I mean, Gav doesn't even know that he's fire locked in spirit because he's not been able to get in there yet.
Yep. Yeah. He'll probably have a pretty good idea anyway after he goes child and there's no small keys there, but it's not ever a guarantee until you find out you have no keys.
No, there could be two Well, I'm going to say this, and actually, you know what? I'm not going to say anything because I don't understand how spirit key logic works.
We have just about the worst key layout, I think.
It's pretty horrendous.
It's not great. Because I do believe both map chest and the sunblock room chest are keys. We won't know for sure Since crossing was required and we saw hovers in Spirit Temple, we know that Longshot is just required to get there in the first place, so there doesn't necessarily need to be a small key on the right hand like we think.
I don't think any of the runners peeked the right hand from outside.
Buying sticks.
I think he went to Child Spirit and then realised that I don't have case sword or sticks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can get sticks in Spirit Temple.
I don't know. One of the pots has something.
I feel like you can't, because I feel like I have been in Spirit Temple needing sticks. And panicked.
Alright. There's all the bottles for Hells, still collecting skulls. Thinking about those irons on 30, I don't blame him at all, because honestly, from what we've seen, magic could just as easily be in there. And yes, the fire arrows Gav just got Kakreed at Grotto.
Again, this is the stage of they're covering each other's ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but a reminder, Gav would need to decide to go do child checks. Doesn't have a lot of incentive to do that after finding the strength in Spirit. But
yeah,
he needs to really think about what those hints are telling him about another strength being available, I think.
Again, from our side, it seems not obvious, but clear.
Yep.
But we're looking at it with the hindsight of... We're looking at two different... We are stream sniping, effectively.
Yep. Yep, Hot Rodder and the strength right here across this bridge.
I don't think it's come up at all this year, but it's worth pointing out that if you're wondering, oh yeah, could they not just look at each other's stream and find out what's happening? They could
No.
not, because they are actually 15 minutes in the past. There's a 15-minute delay on each stream to prevent kind of just looking over what the other person's doing.
Yep. I mean, he could decide to dip for Cack Archery and Redead just to avoid, but I think when you know that Spirit is going to be completable and you can go get your Kokiri sword, I think you just do that.
Riveting content, everybody. Here we go.
Riveting content. We're gonna get like a basically true high five in Spirit here. Gav has to do the first few rooms as adult, but Hell's making sure he's not leaving this fairy fountain behind. Smart. Yeah, Fast Armos pushes on, so it's not as riveting as it used to be.
Right, but how fast is Fast Armor's push, really?
Have you seen it?
Oh, wait, when did it get updated?
A month ago?
Oh, in which case I probably have not seen it.
Okay, yeah. Well, you'll see it pretty soon here. It's actually very sad how much faster it is.
I think for ages that was one of the main reasons people argued against Fast Armor's push, right? Was because they didn't want people to, like, they wanted to disincentivize it a bit.
No, well, you'll see it pretty quick here. Because it used to be, like, it felt like it took 2 minutes. Which, as a viewer, we're all here for that kind of thing. But the runners, I mean, it's a hard decision. If he'd had the bow, Hells absolutely would have done it on his first trip here, because you don't want to leave dungeons.
No, if you can do progression, you do it.
All right, so this is what we're talking about.
Oh, that is Fast Armor's push.
It's so fast.
Oh, it's also Fast Armor's Pool. Oh my god,
Yeah.
both of them.
Yep. Yeah, so we still need a magic and a light arrows. Both runners still missing those. Gav missing a strength 3 that's in Child Goron City, but that's a pretty good place for him to decide to go. But not if he's got all of fire available, which, again, fire is actually a pretty good option for magic.
Yeah, we've got a hammer, we've got... Oh, interesting. Oh, the only bomb bag we've seen is behind magic.
Yes.
So I guess you could, if you can find out early whether you're bomb locked in fire, that can tell you whether or not it's the right place to be hunting for magic. I see. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Gotta find your spot here. Light those 2 torches. There we go.
Even
Oh
once
my
you've pushed the
gosh.
block, it's not the easiest thing to do.
A key.
Wow.
And leaving behind that other room because we know it has to be a key, and he is hoping that he'll just find another one. He will. There's 5. Just to be clear. Alright.
Again, if it seems weird, it is a bit weird, but it's the randomizer is being, it's a failsafe basically. It assumes that you always use your keys in the most what's the word I'm going to use for? Inefficient way possible.
Yep. And that room that you just saw, what the hell's go by, that had that door, that is the other 5 key door. So all of your keys will be before that in these settings.
Yeah, and that's also the room that you need bombs to get through.
Yep. Oh no! Garbage. That's so
Inevitable.
rude.
Inevitable.
That was just like not quite insult to injury, but pretty close to insult to injury. Yep, we have a key on one of our hands. We're kind of expecting it to be on right hand, but again, our long shot to Twinrova is already fulfilled by crossing. Wait, what?
That didn't look like a key on the right hand, on either hand.
No, there was one in the... Oh, no, there was one in this hallway. That's our 5th key. Sorry. Our last key is Sunblock Room.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the keys were in the downstairs in the CL check, in the
Map chest.
the firelock check.
Yep.
In one in that hallway, we think one in the sunblock room.
Mhm.
Am I missing a key somewhere?
Yeah, invisible hallway. Yeah. So we got ZL, map chest, sunblock room, invisible hallway.
Yeah, that's 4.
Oh, maybe it was the right hand. I didn't think so, though. Wait, is Gav out of arrows?
He's got 1 arrow, but I think the fire died, so he needs multiple arrows.
Oh, no. I mean, that's kind of good for him. He's going child.
This might actually be a big help for him, because he might end up finding Strength 3 in
Yeah.
Goron City.
That's what I'm thinking. If he's planning to go child Goron City, I don't know if this
Or
was a
not.
mistake or not. Hard to know. This happens sometimes. Where are we going, Gav? Just to buy arrows? No, you'd play Nocturne. Oh, probably setting time of day for Dompe. Nope, never mind. Well, he's not going ice, or he'd have played Bolero or Minuet. Southfield?
Where is it going?
He has a
I guess
horse, so...
Is he just farming for arrow drops?
That... Alright. That's a totally valid play to make. Definitely not the one that I would have made.
I wouldn't have thought of doing that, but I'm not the #1 seed in the SGL tournament this year, so... What do I know?
Alright. I actually missed what was in the last couple checks in Spirit. One of them had to be Boss Key, because we didn't have... No, we had Boss Key.
We had Boss Key in the mirror room.
Yeah. But,
Evidently nothing.
This is the only game today, Manchi.
However, I can tell you what we've got coming up on the docket. The game 1 of Majarkin versus Seisei, which is the other semi-final, is tomorrow at 4:15 Eastern. So that's 9:15 UK, 10:15 Europe, 1:15 Pacific. And then on Wednesday at 3:15 Eastern is game 2 of Majarkin versus Seisei. At 6:15 Eastern on Wednesday is game 2 of What the Hell's versus Gav. And should they need it, Majarkin and Seisei's game 3 is penciled in for Thursday at 4:15 Eastern. But again, we might not need that depending on if either player can sweep. What the Hell's and Gav have not scheduled a potential game 3 yet.
Alright.
Oh, look,
Yeah,
a gold
gonna
scale.
Okay, that's great. So, it's not in Logic, but that does give us access to water. And 30 skulls definitely before crossing, and a potential place for magic. But Hells is gonna go to Ganon's here and find Kokiri sword. I think he'll probably opt to clear out the whole place, hoping for lights or a second magic.
Yeah, because obviously he can get his way up to Gan. Once he gets to the boss gate, he can get to Ganondorf and he can get the hint as to where the light arrows are.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to tell you where either magic is.
Yep. But Hells is gonna go Child, do Deku Tree, probably do Child cleanup. Meanwhile, Gav will not have an incentive to go do Deku, especially with fire and water on the table. And that could be the right play in the long run. We don't know. We just know Gav has to go find Strength 3. Until he doesn't, in which case I retire as a commentator because I would be very confused. So very confused.
I'm surprised What the Hell's is in Spirit Trial first and hasn't just gone straight to Light Trial.
Well, like I said, I think he's looking for a second magic and light arrows. Both of those things can be in here. It makes a lot of sense. Might need keys. Yeah, he's gonna do all of Ganon's. And it's not going to, in the long run, lose him any time against Gav, because Gav will have to be full clearing this anyway.
For those kind of wondering what's going on here, what the hell is using a trick called bow extension to be able to shoot through the bars there? The way the game in vanilla expects you to beat that is with bomb shoes, which what the hell's currently does not have.
Yep.
But he's going to be very healthy.
Yay, healthy. No more dying. Alright, couple big chests here.
So we know fire arrows has to be the logical fire then. There's
Yep.
K-Sword.
Yeah, unfortunately that does put shadow on the table for lights, but no magic yet.
And
Another
if it is lights in shadow, then in a way, it almost, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter, but he does know that he needs to find magic anyway. So it's just a couple of other places. It's just kind of focusing where he needs to look for lights.
Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely going to fall clear.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, again, that's the play to make. You're still missing a couple of things for go mode. Might as well roll the dice on an out of logic magic.
Now what the hell demonstrates the logical quirks behind completing Shadow Trial 2?
Shadow Trial 2. So many ways to do this check.
Rip.
Yeah, I agree, Inko. 4 more checks here. I wouldn't be too surprised if Hells decides to do the climb.
I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if he puts blue fire in a bottle just in case he needs to go to Ice Cavern, and then I remembered he already has blue fire in a bottle.
He has blue fire in a bottle, and King Zora is dead, which is kind of the main advantage of doing that when coming here. Alright, opting not to climb makes sense. He's gonna go do Deku, see if he can find lights or magic in there, and then I would expect some child cleanup.
I'm just trying to think what he's got left as child. Target in the woods.
Target in the woods. If that is our first bomb bag, you don't go back to Child Goron City in his case, but if he's gonna do Target in the woods anyway, like, might be worth. Because it can still be lights.
Yeah, that's true.
Pompeii.
I mean, it could, and again, it could also be second magic. Dampe is true.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, ice is a place for sure. Fire, water. But yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of child cleanup to do. Alright, and he's going over here, so I do think he's gonna be doing Goron City Pot and Nehru's. All right, there is Spirit done for Gav, who will also be going to do Ganon's Castle. Thinking about that scale. Yep.
I would, yeah. I mean, as again, logically, gold scale gets you into water, and then once you get into water, you can't do anything.
Yep.
In reality, if you've got a gold scale, you can do everything in water, with the exception of the central pillar.
Yep. And one of the, like, unfortunate things for Gav in this case is, again, water is, like, completely on the table logically, because those irons are definitely available. So if he opts to go there and starts full clearing, yes. So you need long shot and gold scale to do anything in there. Yeah. All right. Kind of as we expected, that pot was nothing. And Gav's about to get the unfortunate information that he is on a gold gauntlets hunt.
Yeah, with the logic as well, you can figure out that the pot's behind bombs, so your first magic's not going to be there, or strength 3 might not. I mean, and so you're less likely to look there for strength 3 as well. I think if I'm Gav, I'm probably much more likely to go into one of the dungeons than I am to go Child Goron City.
Mm-hmm.
Because the incentive to age change before even picking up the Kokiri shield Kokiri sword even is minuscule, because you'd have to age change back to be able to move the block to get the Kokiri sword.
Yeah. Yes, strength 3 is in Child Goron City, Cola, on Hot Rodder.
It makes a change from magic being on Hot Rodder, but yes. So far, Deku is drier than the Haunted Wasteland.
Yeah, Gav's definitely not out. Definitely behind having to make the decision to go do Child Goron City, with Darunia being hinted nothing. Mostly because the age change is unfortunate, and they only have a couple of checks left as Child. It's not something that most runners would think makes sense to do.
We don't expect magic to be the first magic to be behind one of the other dungeons, because we know that we expect that we have to have magic in order to get first bomb bag.
Yep.
Which means, and it's almost certain, it's highly likely that Fire's bomb locked.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, well, even beyond the bomb lock part of that, we haven't found a tunic or a wallet.
Oh, yeah!
Or did someone say there was a wallet in River?
No. I feel like the one on the top it was Deku Nuts at the top, I think.
Yeah, but the lower...
The River. If it was a wallet, surely one of them would have picked it up, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Surely. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we have no idea if that's a path bomb bag, to be totally honest, but we haven't seen another one.
Hi, Goma. Bye, Goma.
Alright, this looks like ice for Gav. which is going to be a interesting place because magic, I would say, likely to be here.
There's a decent shot, and if it's not, well, you get a song, and you've got a 2 in 3 chance of that song being useful.
Yep. Alright. Hell's gonna go adult. Did everything as child except Dompe digging.
You can't... You don't be leaving Dampe digging. Please. That's how they get you.
Yeah. But my thought about the wallet is the wallet can be important information because even if you're not bomb locked in fire, to go past that room logically anyway, you need a tunic. So there's only 5 checks where we'd be looking. Nocturne from Hell's here, picking up that boss key. Looks like adult archery.
Yeah, now he's got the boss key, he can play to the light arrow hint if he finds magic before he finds his lights.
Yeah. And I mean, he can go pick up the hint anyway, it's just... Is there anything there? Yep. Nope. And I think that makes total sense to clean some stuff up.
Yep. Because you might find light arrows on the way, and then you don't even need to play for the hint.
Ooh, shoot the sun. Can you imagine magic on Shoot the Sun?
I absolutely can.
Disgusting.
Hey, look, we'll choose.
Go back to river, or to lake, 4 times.
When you don't have Serenade, absolutely, I believe it.
Exactly.
This is going to be the logical fire source for what the hell's?
Yep. Kind of looks like there's something dark down there.
Gav definitely wants a second look.
Yeah. Please don't be magic. Are you kidding me? No.
I've got no idea.
Well,
I'd love to tell you I knew what it was. I do not.
We're not gonna get any better of a look on Hell's side, unfortunately. That's why I like when it's a ruby or a piece of heart, and it's just like, all right, it's trash. I don't need it.
Yeah. That's the thing. The fact that you can't instantly identify it is a worry.
Yep. Yeah, and it makes total sense that we're seeing Hell's Go Ice. It was available very early. It makes total sense that magic could be here. And some fancy hover boot strats from both runners.
Quicker than playing ZL. Sorry, I mean ZL.
Zed.
I thought you might get a kick out of that.
I do. Every time someone says Zed, even though, like, it's the majority of my friends in this community say Zed, all I think of is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because the bad guy was Zed.
Oh, yeah. It's the first time I thought about Power Rangers in many a moon.
It's just, like, a core memory. Hell's also has better time of day, though. It doesn't really make peeking icy waters much better, but it's light out.
I've just got an awful feeling about those iron boots.
I know. I'm like,
That it'll be that lights will be storms locked or something,
yeah.
and there'll be a boss key in the central pillar.
Ugh.
I know.
I think both runners are pretty even on skull collection, though. They both definitely have... I'm pretty sure Gav has picked up more than 10. I know Hells has. Alright, what's down here? Show us. I didn't even see anything.
No, that was even worse.
That was worse. I'm calling him a liar. He has no idea what was down there.
If it was important, I would have seen it.
Okay, so it was a useless dark item. Not useless if it was a red tunic, though. Which we know it should be because our Zora tunic is hinted.
Yeah, it's on Frogs too, right?
Yep. Which potentially kills the central pillar.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
it does. Thankfully. Unless there's two wallets somewhere.
Yeah. It is an item from the video game. Thanks, Inko. Yeah, I mean, a stick would definitely line up with how unconcerned the runners seem about skulls at this point, because Gav is not collecting these skulls. Oh, never mind.
I think Gavi's... I was going to say, I was like...
He is collecting
No.
these skulls, after all. Hey, strawberry speedruns, skulls, why? Well...
Good question.
Iron boots are on 30 skulls, and we don't have those skulls yet.
Do we need the iron boots? God, I hope not.
Yeah, we're optimistic that we don't. And Ice has had nothing. But Water, yeah, Water locks 2 songs. Right. Hells is now skipping skulls, though. Oof. Man.
Why couldn't we have had a foolish ice cavern hint?
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Ice has had nothing. Yeah, this is definitely a womp, 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 womp moment.
Ice cavern's more empty than my bank account.
Which, like, this makes sense as a place.
Yeah, oh, 100% it makes sense.
But Gav is collecting those skulls at 14, whereas Hell seems to not be collecting skulls. So if that was magic and he just mispeaked it, that's pretty big for Gav. I would go fire first if it were me.
I think I'd go water. But there's good arguments for both.
Yeah. I mean, long shot path to Twinrova been fulfilled, but there's no reason that it can't be for multiple reasons. GTG was not hinted foolish, because they can't be in these settings, but there was nothing of consequence there yet. But Gav also knows that toilet is an item in GTG. And Hells does not have that information.
No, and for what the hell, it's not that easy to get back there.
Yep.
Because neither runner has magic, neither of them have been able to drop FW for easier routing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gav is very concerned about picking up these skulls. So it'll be interesting to see what's down there in Icy Waters. Uh-oh. I think the lens was in there, but we don't care.
Wait, it was? Was that the freestanding item? Because I thought that was a purple rupee. I mean, I assume... I'm not suggesting that you're wrong by any more. I just saw it was purple and no one picked it up, so I assumed purple rupee.
But, like, we didn't need that.
No,
we quote
at this
unquote
point...
needed it. But it's not the... Of the 2 items that we were missing for crossing, that's not the one that we wanted.
Not quite.
Yeet.
Gav is zeroing in on those skulls.
Yeah, I'm interested in this play.
Whether he wants this because he's got a feeling about the toilet, maybe he got a better look at what's under the icy waters and he thinks that he needs it, or maybe he just doesn't want to have to deal with gold scale water.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he'd be more than capable of doing it, but
Ooh,
he
here we
is going child.
He is going child because there are plenty of skulls available as child. And remembering to set time of day for Dompe digging, which is one of our few child checks we haven't seen. Magic could easily be there.
30 skulls as iron boots, Dastar. That's hinted.
Yeah.
If 30 skulls had magic, we would absolutely be getting it.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, that's fair.
All right.
So, if What the Hells had just gone straight into Fire Temple rather than going outside the mountain, he'd have also got a bow.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
He didn't lose a huge amount of time to it in the end.
No, and like, he has time to be looking for magic. At this point, it's just which of these runners is gonna find the magic first. Gav going child should be going into Goron City to pick up that skull at minimum and should find that strength. And we have the keys to climb without bombs.
We do, which increases the chances of magic being here somewhere. But we have not, of note, found a wallet or a Goron tunic.
What the Hells has not done Dompe digging. So this could also be... Nope.
I didn't see what it was, but he walked straight away.
Bomb refill.
That is a bomb-locked key.
It is a bomb-locked key. So we'll just have to... Okay. Yeah, I think Hells is going off the assumption of what we are, in that magic shouldn't be past bombs, but that being a key doesn't necessarily mean that, like, the rest of it... Yeah, at the moment, we can assume that's an extra key. So I'm not entirely sure... Like, Lab Dive doesn't make a lot of sense here, because we know that this is magic locked in multiple ways.
Yeah, the gold scale was on Twin Rover, so you absolutely needed magic to get to Spirit Temple. And you needed magic in Spirit Temple, so this is absolutely magic locked.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that you can't find magic there, of course, but it just means it's a lot less likely.
Yeah. So he could be thinking, again, that long shot. Could be thinking this is my easiest way to set time of day for shoot the sun too, and at least I'm doing checks along the way.
Yep, there's what, 6 items in Water Temple?
4.
Oh,
4
what, and
items.
6 keys?
And 6 keys.
I always get those the wrong way around.
Yep.
I mean, at this point, it's essentially his most check dense location.
Yeah. I mean, fire isn't... Yeah, Cola. Gav has skipped quite a few child and adult skulls along the way that I can think of. And yeah, it's also a song behind water completion. Oh, big chest.
That's a biggie. And with hover boots, you don't even need to put the... It's a lot easier to finagle that one without changing the water level.
Yeah, Hells does know the setup to do it without hovers. So it wouldn't have been a problem anyway, but it's
Doesn't
nice
hurt.
to not have to wonder. Alright. Gav is doing child cleanup here.
We haven't seen this, have we?
No. Oh wait, this was hinted.
I thought outside Ganon's castle was hinted.
No, outside Ganon's is hinted foolish. This was just a sometimes hint. Alright, there's Minuet.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Boo.
Another bomb bag.
Yep. Oh, okay. Gav, that... It's not over until we find magic and lights, but Gav not playing Minuet and going to Child Goron City there could basically give What the Hells as much time as he needs.
I'm thinking about that bomb bag.
Being bomb locked.
Yes, you'd have to explain how. Oh, because it's behind the bombable wall. Yeah,
It's a bombable wall.
Yeah, I forgot about that bit.
It's a bombable wall that Hammer doesn't work on.
Yeah. Ignore me.
And yes, so Gav is missing Kokiri's sword, which is in Light Trial, requires all 3 strengths. The last strength is on Hot Rodder, the big rolling Goron in Child Goron City. And Gav, unfortunately, has enough other skulls available to him that he opted not to do the checks along the way. Yep. Alright, and Hell's showing off the gold scale water tech here. There are a couple of jumps that... Ooh. Nah, he's fine. He'll do it from above. Yep, 2 items and 2 keys. Gav picking up those irons, so I'm guessing a reverse is in play. Oh, no, back to icy waters.
He definitely... Okay, I'd love to know what's under there.
I know.
Because
if it's magic under there, that is huge for him.
that's a hell of a mispeak from What the Hells if it's magic.
Yeah.
Pun not intended.
Yeah. I mean, he spent 0 time looking at that, really. So he was very confident in whatever it was. But yeah, Gav seems pretty convinced that that was something he needed.
Something he needs. Yeah. It's not necessarily magic, but at the very least it has him interested.
Yep. Yeah, Icy Waters is really tough to see. especially if you're playing on Virtual Console like both of them are. It's a little darker.
Can confirm. Up we go.
Yeah, because I don't know when Hells would think about finishing 30 Skulls, having skipped so many so far.
I've not been key counting in Water Temple.
I think that was our third key and boss key.
What the hell is going to go and beat Morpher, I guess? Shoot the sun, and then maybe come back in if he needs to?
Yep. Alright.
Moment of truth.
I know. I'm like, I am just watching Gav's screen.
You can't really be much closer. Is that?
It was a tunic. Okay, well that means... Okay, yeah. So Gav wasn't entirely certain. Makes sense.
Well, now he can logically go up Fire Temple.
Yeah, and that's kind of... It's information more than anything. Yeah, Central Pillar could still be something. Toilet can still be something. But that's Morpha down. That's a song for Hells, and if it's Storms, like, that's plenty of time for Gav to find something.
Morpher's a key.
Interesting, interesting. Water key logic isn't nearly as complicated as spirit key logic, but that key can functionally mean a lot of things are long shot locked that otherwise aren't.
I think spirit key logic is more complicated than anything I did during my master's degree.
Fair. I would not expect Central Pillar to be our magic, though. Oh, all right. Light arrows.
Well, I mean...
One item down. Yes, baseball. Gav has irons.
That's not what you usually get from the sun, but it is some sort of magic arrows.
It's a magic arrow. It's the one that might make more sense.
And give us the good news.
And,
Thank God.
Storms. Okay.
Because if that was suns, not happy. Although actually, if it is suns, in a way that's not too bad.
There's only one place you're going with suns.
Yeah, you're going to the and then you finish clearing fire, water, whatever, because you know that you don't have to go in. Well, I mean, you never have to go into Shadow, right? But you know you're not going to have to go into the well, for example.
And that's why I'm like, I kind of think that our Central Pillar should just be nothing. But bottom of the well, the bomb locked check specifically, probably not magic, but everything else pretty on the table.
Frogs 1's back on the table.
Frogs 1 back on the table. Kokiri Forest, that Storm's Grotto, back on the table.
That's a fair point. After all of that, it could not even have been the long shot in Kokiri Forest that was being hinted path.
Yes. But, I mean, we know it was.
Yes.
In multiple ways, especially if magic is behind storms. Like, you needed the long shot to cross the wasteland, you needed it for keys, you needed it for storms in that case. So it's kind of a, why is long shot path? Yes.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Gav still has to decide to go back Child and go to Child Goron City. He had the perfect opportunity, played Minuet and everything, and right now it's just like my heart's breaking a little bit that he didn't do that. Oh. Hey.
And let's go.
That is go mode for What the Hells, and that will seal the fate of game 1. It is best of 3.
So all is not lost for Gav,
Yeah.
but gonna have to flip the script a little bit in game 2 to take us to game 3.
Yep. Yeah, Manchi. Central Pillar is unlikely to be anything just because we know that Water Completion locked 2 songs, and we also knew both of those were songs required for Zora Tunic, and we still haven't seen a single wallet.
Usually, I mean, I know that Race Seeds you don't get the spoiler log, but I love looking through spoiler logs to try and find out precisely where everything was. Just like I need to know the minutiae of how everything worked.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
these spoiler logs are actually unlocked after the race concludes. Oof. Not sure what was going on there. Yeah, Gav has had a little bit of a rough day. Some execution errors, some unfortunate decisions as far as the skull routing. But overall has played really well. But he'll shake it off for game 2, I am certain.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether Gav kind of gets on the right track before What the Hell's finishes. But at the moment, even if he finds the magic in the well, I guess at that point he's Child, so he might think about going to Child Goron City, but certainly the pathing's not clear. I think.
Yeah. Ganon boss key is actually fixed to Light Arrow cutscene, so once you complete the Shadow and Spirit medallions, Deku and Forest today, you get to pick up that key. But you do have to go to Temple of Time to pick it up. That's one of the things people forget it sometimes. And Hell's having some trouble with the Iron Knuckles. Don't die, Fairy? Oof. Okay, no Fairy, and that is gonna have him sweating. We know that this race is certainly going to be over in his favor, but dying while you're climbing tower feels terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. I think frequently, or maybe not frequently, but when you're in these situations and one person, I think, is got a clear advantage going up the tower, you hear the jokes of, well, unless they die to Salt and Pepper 30 times, or they have terrible Ganon fights, then it's the race is probably done. And I've yet to see anyone have it, but I have seen races hit. The final result has changed because of how either runner was able to do in the tower on the climb and on the final Ganon fight. Like, it does make a difference.
Yep, especially like in a race, What the Hell's versus Gav here, giving away time like that always has you nervous. Oh, pulling out some milk.
Malon would be so proud.
She helped Link defeat the Great Evil. Already have our equips. We did not pick up Big Goron Sword on Skull Mask. Magic was in... I want you to guess, Thunder. Oh, we weren't supposed to tell her.
Or chat could fill you in, yeah.
Oh, Thunder loves bottom of the well. I wanted her to guess.
It was in Breath of the Wild, correct.
It was in Breath of the Wild. It's alright, chat. I forgive you all.
Now, where was the other magic? That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Well, Gav beating Morpha there. Nice little Morpha fight. Gonna be picking up light arrows, so one less thing for him to be concerned about.
But you'd definitely rather find the magic and then go to Ganon and just have Ganon say, it's in Lake Hylia. Because you've even got Serenade now.
I would be so mad. Shoot the Sun is one of those things where I'm like, I am not leaving here until I do it. Because I'm just gonna be mad if the answer is here. Gav jumping in the water, swimming away. This is probably heading back to GTG and toilet, so unfortunately he will not be finding magic or strength 3 before Hells finishes. The spoilers.
And so 2 hours, 18 minutes, and about 25 seconds in, and with apologies to August 40th, here's Ganon. This is the only time you actually see a boss's title card in the game, by the way. The rando removes all the others.
Yeah, we talked about that a little earlier. Well, chat talked about it more as we were trying to remember what Baronade's title card says. Oh, okay. Gav gonna pick up Storms. And going Child. Alright. Maybe he will find magic before the end, but Hells is done with phase 1, on to phase 2, picking up Master Sword again.
So
right.
phase 1 and 2 down. As Gav is going to go into the well just too late.
Yep. Get your GGs in chat. Reminder, this is a best of 3 series. Game 1 will be going to What the Hell's Happened. Final time of 2:20:03, 04, somewhere in there. And yeah, Gav seeing that finish instantly, probably keeping an eye on the race room for a couple minutes at that point. I do believe both runners are going to be joining us for an interview, so we'll get them pulled up here. Hey, Gav. Welcome in. GG's.
GG.
Yo.
Any, oh, there he is. Welcome in.
Hello.
GG's.
GG's, Gav. GG's.
Not sure how much of the seed you've discussed already, but any initial
lot.
thoughts either of you would
lot,
like
yeah.
to share?
I think I said this in the race room, but despite how bad I played, it didn't matter because I was fucked for the last 2 hours anyway, so. With the strength on Hot Rodder that I was never getting, so.
Yeah, we thought for a second there when you were collecting skulls for 30, you played Minuet, and we're like, oh, he's gonna get it, he's gonna get it, and unfortunately you changed your mind.
Well, at that point I clearly thought the bottom of the lake thing was strength 3, right? So.
Oh, strength 3. Okay.
Yeah, because it was nighttime and I peeked it with the dive and it it wasn't any of the obvious items, and it had a sparkle on it, and I'm like, well, it can't be other sword. I have everything else in the game that sparkles, so I don't know what else this could be, but turns out the Goron tunic sparkles for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be lens, then I got the lens and ice, and then I was thinking maybe it was a Deku shield or something. Like I feel like I can usually see if it's a strength, but I was a bit scared it was magic.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I kind of just meant like, okay, let's. There was a weird little pointy thing. I don't know. So I don't know what I saw, but
I am terrible at peeking that item always, so I wasn't that shocked when it wasn't what I thought it was. But
dude, peeking sucks. I died in DMC trying to peek the volcano. I was just, how am I dead? And I still don't know what the item is. And I was just.
I peeked that as a child, actually, this seed.
Oh yeah.
I had already bought the
Good idea.
bean, so I was like, yeah, I might as well just see if I'm gonna need it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I thought about it too, and then I thought, nah, but.
But yeah, I mean, this was a struggle bus for Gavaroni. Let's just put it that way. It's a tough seed, tough gameplay from me today. Voided twice in the wastelands, ran out of arrows doing bow stuff. It was good. It was good.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
was scared of that, running out of arrows in spirit. I only had like 10. I was like, oh boy.
I think I had 4, and I hit the torch on the first shot, and then I missed shooting the other torch.
No.
Like, torch to
Mm.
torch. Yeah. And then I went back, because I was like, alright, I guess I'll just climb as child, so I put the sword down, and I was like, oh, the reason I can't do this is because I don't have any keys, so this isn't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Picked the sword back up, and then went and farmed some grass, and then, of course, with 0 arrows, I just get a 5 drop, and I was like, okay, whatever. If I screw it up again, maybe I'll just rage quit stream or something. And see what
Well, I'm glad that didn't have to
Oh my
happen.
god.
But
Yeah, it seems like you found that bow. Hell's got to Lake first, but as child, which at the time it was like, all right, you can do one thing and peek Rudo's letter spot. We think that was a slingshot, the last slingshot. Does that
Yeah,
sound right?
I was so pumped because I just got the scale and I thought it was the bomb bag for a second. I was just, yes, perfect. This is exactly what I need. And then it was a slingshot bag.
It was a
Yeah.
slingshot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Gav, you made it there, picked up that hammer, and then found the bow. And we were like, oh, well, let's see how that kind of spirals out, because we weren't really expecting Forrest to have a whole lot, given the hints that we had. And that ended up playing out exactly how we thought it was, because of course required Forrest would have nothing.
Yeah.
yeah, I was more shocked GTG had nothing than Forest. I was pretty convinced Forest wasn't gonna have anything as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GTG was completely empty. I know we were thinking about whether there could be something in the toilet because we knew that was an item. Turns out that's just 20 rupees, so
Sounds about right.
Nice.
iron boots completely irrelevant turned out in the seed, but certainly,
Well.
especially when, because we had no idea what was on the bottom of the lake, so
Practically irrelevant. Logically, very hard required.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had got the hammer in Lake, and because I was going to GTG at that point, just like doing everything on the way, and I was like, at this point, with like Saria's being path to Forest, it's maybe better to just dip Forest first. I can check those 2 fairies now that I didn't check before, so I went and did that, and then obviously got the bow on the way to Forest, which was good. I was feeling pretty good until I voided twice, and then started feeling less good, and it just progressively got worse and worse from there.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
we've all-
tough to follow, trying to figure out where the magic could be. Because, like, you're pretty sure the bomb bag is the only bomb bag available, but I guess there's no 100% confirmation you could have. Like, once I got the one in water, I'm like, yeah, okay, probably. So every time I'm doing bomb checks, I'm like, yeah, this is probably not magic, but I'm here, and it could be second magic, so it just...
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like every check you're doing, you're like, yeah, I guess this is lower odds, this is higher odds, but I gotta do it. Plus, I need lights too. So
Yeah, how did you make your decision to bail out of fire for water?
well, I was like, I'm gonna do the beginning because of hammer,
Hmm.
but then I just didn't want to go too deep. Like once I got that key that was bomb lock, I was like, yeah, like and it could be here, but like because I just got a bomb, like this is a big commitment for something that maybe a bit further could not be magic anymore.
Yeah.
And then I mean, like the water could lead to storms.
Yeah.
So I just thought, okay, maybe it's an early boss key, and then we go check that real quick. And if not, like I was gonna go to GTG because I think I didn't have, I don't know, like Child Dampe and I don't know, I shoot the sun, but like no sun. So in a way, that was cool to beat Morpha, and then oh, this is here.
Yeah,
That
ending worked out very nicely for you.
And it was kind of at the end. It kind of really did come down to the question of where the logical magic was going to be. I found out where the other magic was, by the way. If you're interested.
Yeah.
Treasure chest game.
Wow, in a foolish zone too. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Straight up.
Interesting.
Absolutely never being found.
Wait, why can it even be there? I guess because it's magic locked.
Yeah, it's hard magic locked, so it can be second magic.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, so Gav kind of recounted some of his unfortunate gameplay today. Hells, you tried to go through a locked door without a key, so we'll just even the playing field a little bit here.
I've done that so many times. I wasn't even mad at it. Like I was like, oh, I don't have a key. Okay, time to leave. Like I just.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Oh, go ahead.
I just asked if that was in spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I did the child climb room, and then I don't know, like there was a big chest there. Then I thought, okay, well, let's keep going, and then no key.
Shout out, by the way, to drinking the milk in the tower.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted people to post the emote. That's why I did that, and no other reason.
Yes, no other reason.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
don't
if
know
you
what I
died
did
like
there.
150 more times, I probably would have caught up.
No, I was I don't know what I did. Like I just thought, oh, I have so much health and I have a blue potion. This is all chill and good. And then it's like I didn't focus on what I was doing. I got hit once, and I'm like, no, it's fine. And then I'm dead. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I was thinking that. Maybe I'm playing too much Tears of the Kingdom, and like you have stronger
and fairies all the time.
Yeah, and you have stronger armor, so sometimes you get hit by a strong enemy and it doesn't kill you. Like I don't know.
Round 2 is not today. It is Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, Wednesday at
Around
6:15 Eastern. So a little bit later.
Yep.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, how did you feel about this seed? It was kind of in the middle, not quite a total slog, not quite a jet.
It was pretty bad, I think, for these settings. It's probably one of the... I mean, I guess there's some bias because I lost, but it's probably close to the least favorite seed I've played on these settings, I'd say.
Okay.
It was weird. It was boring. It was... there were no choices to be made, basically. You just did everything and didn't get any items, and then... I guess towards the end there's some choice looking for magic, but... I feel like water that is basically should always be your first play, and then if you don't get storms, maybe it changes things a little bit, but... Once you get storms, you're just gonna go in the well, and... But... I don't know. It was fine.
It was one of those weird seeds where there's a lot of uncertainty, even though you end up having to do everything, because 30 iron boots in these settings, with water being the force down, is like the most uncertain thing ever.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if you need to beat the dungeon, you don't know if you need the iron boots to get a key, or the boss key in the dungeon, and like you also don't know if you find the gold scale or not. Like it's just...
Did you collect past 10 at all, or no?
I think I had 15.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got 11 and then stopped for a while. And then went from 11 to 30 and one shot this game.
I got like the Jabu ones and the forest ones and a few more, and Just
Yeah, I
thought,
skipped the Jabu ones, but I was thinking about it during the seed that it's probably more often correct to do them when you have that situation, right? An item
yeah,
on skulls for the Force Medallion.
yeah, and especially like the song layout up to that point wasn't
Yeah,
that crazy.
yeah,
Like, yeah, we had
so bad.
Nocturne, but yeah, like
Their songs were trash.
I was scared of ZL on Prelude. We'd have to get the iron boots, and then it's a 50-50 anyway. Like, let's say you do find the gold scale, you can only do like one check. So
Yeah, that's true.
No, plus the explosive thing, because I skipped the wallet, so when it
I
was
was
time
going to
for
ask
trials-
about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you don't realize when you're. I think
Did you do
I
a
did have.
trial?
Yeah, going up to Jabu,
Yeah.
and then you're like, yeah, I have choose right now, and you don't really think of the urgency that, oh my god, I really should pick it up. What if I never find explosives? But when it was time to cross the desert, that's when I was thinking, damn, this might be bad. And I was thinking Gav probably did Adult River and probably picked it up. So I was
I
scared,
did
like,
do
okay.
Adult River, but I did not pick it up, so it's all good.
But then the bomb bag was good. Plus, I was thinking, okay, it sucks I have to go pick up this bomb bag because I'm desperate. But then Strength 3 was there and Kokiri Sword was in Night Child, so it's like, okay, at least all of this was required at that point. So.
I was actually gonna be so mad if we got a key out, because I used my last shoe on Colossus Ferry. That's where I used my 10th one. And
Oh,
I go to do the child checks, and I'm like, somehow, like, normally I would want a key right now, but I just don't want this game to give me a key, because I don't have any explosives. And I would just have to go adult, ride the bean, go back child. Like,
Yeah, had you worked out that Strength 3 was going to be required, Hells? We weren't sure if you were full clearing Ganons, hoping to find Lights and maybe a second magic, or if you'd pieced together that you would need golds.
yeah, I mean, I was doing everything, just hoping for a second magic or lights, yeah. Because there's enough checks there that, like, it's weird. In Standard, when trials are closed, there's always the chance that magic can be in trials, but with trials open, like, it kind of limits, like, the fact that there's so many checks that were magic locked here. So there's a lot of checks. There's, like, maybe more checks that are not in Shadow than in Shadow. So you just think, if I can just get this right now, and then I can set up W here.
Sure.
Yeah. I was thinking also to maybe go get the light arrow hint when looking for magic, but it's so slow, because then that makes it 3 trips to Ganon's castle. Like, I didn't climb the tower, but like, because at least it gives you a bit of direction.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if he tells you they're in Shadow Temple, you're like, well, what does that do? I don't care.
Yeah.
So
I think most of the
Yeah.
time it's probably correct, right? I was thinking about that as well. Like, if I got like Strength 3 first, I probably would have went and gotten the hint, because then it's just like, I might as well go where the light arrows are first, searching for magic, versus I guess if he says they're exactly in Shadow, it kind of sucks, but
yeah,
at that point, there's a lot open still. Fire, or well, stuff like that.
Because I was thinking, if the Kokiri Sword is just in Spirit, and then you go to Trials, and then if there's nothing, I mean, you have the BK, so you can just go check. But then it was weird, because you have to go to Trials, then leave, then come back to get the BK, so then you would have to go back in, and I guess it doesn't change anything if it's your second time there, but...
Yeah, I had the same thought, though. I mean, once you get the Spirit Path to Goma, you should... I think that guarantees that Strength 3 is required, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But I ended up going Ganon's without it as well, and just there's an okay amount of checks there. It probably was less good for me than it was for you, because I didn't have Strength, You would have had Strength 3 already, I assume, right? Or did you get Strength 3 after you went Ganon's the first time? I guess
No,
that's as well.
Child Spirit was my Strength 3. Like, I picked up the bomb bag, I got Strength 3, then I beat Forest in Spirit, and then I went to Trials, so I had Strength 3.
Yeah. So full clearing makes a lot of sense for you. You're there already, right? And...
Yeah, I didn't climb the tower. That was the one thing I was like, is there a world where Magic 2 is in the tower? But
yeah, just on the validation chest, yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
not worth it. Yeah, I agree. Well, cool. GG.
Yeah,
Round
GG's.
2 on Wednesday.
Yeah.
GG,
Alright.
see you then.
Thank
See you
you for
then.
letting us restream and joining us for an interview. Give our runners a follow, everyone. Gavaroni and What the Hell's Happened. Game 2 on Wednesday. I think we already recapped what we've got coming up the rest of the week, but all semifinals will be done this week, I believe, so that'll be fun. And thanks to our trackers, Baseball and Skyrius or Fortaunt. Give them a follow as well. And Benji, thanks for being on comms with me.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, guys. GG.
GG's.
GG's.